we heal in community. And when we heal, we're calling pieces of our spirit that maybe were from generational wounds, maybe from traumas that we've been through. We reclaim them so that we can say, here I am, there's all of me in my fullness, and I am ready. And from this place is where we really can access those dreams, those visions, those gifts that all of us are divinely, gifted with. And as I was thinking about this cohort, so many of you, like myself, have been watching an unfolding genocide. We have been seeing injustices in our communities. We have also been in places where I think the 9 to 5 is just grinding us and taking some of our creative life force. It is a time where it's time that we embody all of who we are. It's time that we, as women of color, reclaim our spirits. It's time that we reclaim our medicine. And the hope for this collective is that we together come to these places, healing spaces, so that we can reclaim, we can vision, we can birth like just new paradigms, just new realities. And we know we can't do this on our own. We need each other to do this. And so this is calling her spirit back. That's what calling her spirit back was birthed out of. Decolonize your spiritual practice, reclaim ancestral wisdom, and awaken revolutionary vision. This is me. I'm the facilitator. Nice to meet you. Some of you know me for a while. Some of you I'm just meeting, but I'm just so grateful that you're here. A little bit about me. Like I said, I'm an indigenous Chicana. I have ancestors on both sides of the US-Mexico border. I am detribalized Chicana, indigenous Chicana from Raramuri land and Purepecha land. I'm also Cherokee descendant, and I have found a lot of deep medicine in communing with my own ancestral lands in Oklahoma and Mexico, Guanajuato, Chihuahua, and experiencing experiencing Jesus in ceremony, really learning from matriarchs, from wise elders, and learning from my ancestors has been so deeply healing for me, even beyond the education that I've done. These life education has done so much for me. I have a bachelor's of sociology from UCLA. I have an MDiv with an emphasis in trauma-informed care from NATES, which is an indigenous owned and operated grad school, one of the only ones in North America. So I was just deeply grateful to be able to go and learn in community. And I love holding space for us as women of color, as femmes, to reclaim our fullness, to heal soul wounds, to vision, to move forward together in co-creating justice and co-creating spaces of healing. I want folks to feel empowered and for us to be able to do these things together. So I'm excited to journey with you. A little bit more about this program and what I've been envisioning is there's going to be nourishing teachings. It's going to be a 9-month journey. And for some of you might be thinking, that's kind of long, 9 months is a long time. And I started praying and realizing, 9 months is like the human period of birthing, of gestation. It's the period of birthing new life. And so it felt fitting that it would be a 9-month journey so that we can actually go from the seeds that may have dreams that have been placed inside of us to seeing those things grow and letting them be nourished in community. So there's going to be every month, there'll be a nourishing teaching by a teacher or an elder and wisdom keeper. There's going to be every month a soul care circle. Besides, I think a couple, there's holidays. Soul care circles are places where there's smaller groups where you can get to know folks in a deeper way, for us to bring all of who we are and to just have a space to be held, to have space held for you, to heal in community. So sometimes when we're taking information, it's beautiful. So those teachings are there, but sometimes we need space and we need to just, be in community and not have to take in information. And so these are our spaces to do grounding, to balance our nervous systems, to practice some of these, decolonial spiritual practices together. We also will be doing practices on ancestral reclamation. What does it look like to connect with my ancestors? What does it look like to learn about where I come from, to learn about my roots, to learn that makes me who I am as a person? I remember one of the first times for me that I was awoken to the need to understand and reclaim my ancestors. I was at a conference, and this might have been the first time, because I was so detribalized, and my grandfather, probably from trauma, didn't pass a whole lot on. So I was on such a journey of reclaiming. But there were drummers at this conference, and I remember like those drum beats like hitting me on a soul level. And as the drummers were playing, it just felt like something in my spirit like activated in a deep way, to where my brain couldn't quite comprehend, but my body and my spirit were like, I just started weeping. And I just sensed there's something deeper going on here. What's happening? And I just remember, like, I felt Creator, I felt God saying, Christina, it's time that you listen to the voices of your ancestors. It's time that you learn their names. It's time that you learn their stories. I thought about my grandpa, who always told my mom that we were Cherokee, but didn't pass a lot on. And why couldn't he pass things on? I heard that he knew the language. Why did he not, learning about the stories, learning even about the traumas, and how not even realizing it, that I was carrying those things. But I was also carrying gifts that my ancestors would give me, and learning that on the journey. And I think so many of us, I just want to tell you, like, there are gifts on the journey. It's not just pain. There's so many gifts as we reclaim. Another thing, like I said, wisdom from elders. I wouldn't be who I am today. I am not going to say, I'm just a sage and I learned all these things and I'm a medicine woman. I'm none of those things. I am just doing my best to live in a good way and reclaim my roots and be in right relationship. And that means honoring elders and knowing that there are voices that offer so much beauty and wisdom, and there's elders that want to take us under their wing on this journey, and will come and teach us. And I said collective visioning, for us to envision what are the gifts, the dreams that have been placed inside of you, and what does it look like to, as a community, see life breathed into those, to even get to a place beyond survival mode where we can access those deeper dreams. And again, I said decolonial practices like connecting with the earth, connecting with the trees, connecting with the fire and the elements. Practices that are simple but also beautiful, that you can incorporate into your day, that really bring your soul into alignment with Creator, with the practices even our ancestors were using to connect with God. These are some of our speakers, just a little briefly. This is Chris Yisa. She's a queer artist, author. She's an activist. She's a spiritual director and retreat facilitator. I love her because she is using like decolonial practices within her own Korean heritage. She uses her art as a vehicle of liberation. She's a muralist, she's a writer, and she's somebody that deeply cares about justice and seeing this world made new, but she carries it in such a beautiful and soft way. in a way that's bringing her creativity and her gifts forward. And she's going to lead us through some exercises. She's going to come and speak, and also like some art exercises, some writing, some accessing our creativity and vision. And so excited for her. This is Imelda Decotu. She is Afro-Latina. She's from the, I want to say it's Gurafina tribe. I could be saying this wrong, but she is somebody that is also, you know, very rooted. She's a mindfulness coach. She's a founder of an org called Pray With Your Feet, which is all about the intersection of spirituality and activism. We can't just be spiritually bypassing, but we actually need to be with our feet on the ground doing good work. And she does an excellent job with that. She's a mom. She's an advocate for gentle parenting, mindful parenting. She is somebody as well that has carried chronic illness and also parents a neurodivergent daughter, and is walking in a really beautiful and healing way to accompany parents, mothers, accompany women in transmuting our pain, transmuting these things in our lives into our power, into our purpose. And she's going to have some beautiful things to offer us. There's me again, but I told you about myself already. And I especially love meditation journeys. I love helping folks connect, find stillness on a deeper, level with creator, with ancestors, even with your inner Nina, with your inner child. And so I like to facilitate meditative journeys, and we're going to be doing some of those together. These are some of our elders. This is Dee Dominguez. She's Yokitz from the Central Valley. She's a water protector. She's a former chairwoman, which is kind of a big deal. She was a chief, and so she's so humble, but she has so much wisdom. And she's a basket weaver. She carries her ancestral traditions. She has lived a really beautiful life, especially in the Central Valley, in terms of protecting the waterways from being siphoned by big ag. And she has so much wisdom. She carries herself with sweetness and kindness and gentleness, but she has a fire in her, and she's, you know, speaking at city council, and is just a beautiful person, you know, that wants to accompany us. She was like, Christina, I'm here for whatever you all need, which is like really an honor. Like, these elders, like, they're humble, but like they're actually a really big deal that they would come and share with us. That's D. This is Randy and Edith Woodley. They're also some beautiful elders that have been on my journey. They are Cherokee and Shoshone. They're the the founders of Elahe Indigenous Center for Earth Justice. It's a training center to help Indigenous folks, like an Indigenous, kind of like a community-based Indigenous school, to help people reclaim their teachings, to even like, they're very smart as well. They've authored 1 million books. They are also kind of a big deal, but they'd be very humble about what does even white supremacy look like on a structural level, and what does it look like to dismantle it even on a mind level? Like, can we reimagine the world? Can we do this in community? And there are people that have put their feet to the ground and saying, we're going to do this and start this training center and have this Center for Earth Justice, and really going hard for the visions that Creator has given them. And they're such an inspiration to me. This is just a cute picture of my abuelita, my bisabuela, Mama Mayo. She lives in Guanajuato, but I just thought I'd share that picture. There's like 2-ish other elders. There's some Mayan elders and wisdom keepers, and there's another woman that's from Canada. And they're, because elders be eldering, they take their time, and we want to give them their time, but they might be joining us. And so until then, enjoy this little picture of my bisabuela. Let's just hear. And this is the program cost. And what it entails: 9 months of soul care, like I said, 9 grounding and nourishing teachings and group meditations, 7 soul care circles that are smaller groups, spiritual formation, direction, like a mini retreat type thing, wisdom from elders, and we'll all have access to an online community and a group chat. Like when we need support, we support one another. And this is going to be $1,500 or $150 deposit and $150 a month. And this was like the rate that I really tried to be as accessible as possible, while still really believing and wanting to pay women of color and wanting to pay elders for their time. Sometimes when the elders come, it's like, I want to give all the money from our session to the elders. So this is kind of just to keep the programs running. And obviously, if there's anything that, if this is something that is not accessible for you, you can always chat with me and we could figure out a way to maybe fundraise together, because I want everyone that's aligned with us to be able to join us. But this is the program, and this is just a little. What if I told you that God is far more loving, far more expansive, at work in the cosmos and all created things, deeply committed to justice, to restoration, and far more loving than we could even comprehend? Friend, I'm telling you, there is so much more life to experience on the spiritual journey. And a little blessing for you. Sis, I pray that you nurture the dreamer within. May you be unshakably confident in your God-given gifts. We need you in your fullness and your giftings, confidently, to co-create a just reality together. And I would love to journey with you. I would absolutely love to journey with you. And I trust that if this feels in alignment with you, that that many of you are here for a reason, and that it's going to be a really beautiful journey. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to give you a moment to think about it, and then we'll just come back together and